Act 1, Scene 1 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Second part of the tragedy in 5 acts. Act 1, Scene 1, A pleasant landscape. Twilight. Faust, bedded on flowery turf, fatigued, restless, endeavoring to sleep. Circle of hovering spirits in motion, graceful diminutive figures. Ariel. Chant, accompanied by Aeolian harps.
When the spring returns serener, raining blossoms over all, when the fields with blessing greener on the earth-born children call, then the craft of elves propitious hastes to help where help it can. Be he holy, be he vicious, pity they the luckless man. Who round this head in airy circles hover, yourselves in guise of noble elves discover. The fierce convulsions of his heart compose, remove the burning barbs of his remorses, and cleanse his being from the suffered woes. 4 pauses make the night upon her courses, and now, delay not, let them kindly close. First on the coolest pillow let him slumber, then sprinkle him with Lethe's drowsy spray. His limbs no more shall cramps and chills encumber, when sleep has made him strong to meet the day. Perform, ye elves, your fairest rite, restore him to the holy light.
Chorus, singly, by 2 or more, alternately and collectively.
When around the green-girt meadow balm the tepid winds exhale, then in fragrance and in shadow twilight spreads her misty veil, whispers peace in accents cheery, rocks the heart in childhood's play, and upon these eyelids weary shuts the golden gates of day. Now the night already darkles, holy star succeeds to star, dazzling lights and fainter sparkles glimmer near and gleam afar, glimmer here the lake reflecting, gleam in cloudless dark aboon, while the bliss of rest protecting reigns in pomp the perfect moon. Now the hours are cancelled for thee, pain and bliss have fled away. Thou art whole, let faith restore thee, trust anew the rising day. Vales grow green, and hills are lifting through the shadow rest of morn, and in waves of silver drifting on to harvest rolls the corn. Wouldst thou win desires unbounded, yonder see the glory burn. Lightly is thy life surrounded, sleeps a shell to break and spurn. When the crowd sways unbelieving, show the daring will that warms. He is crowned with all achieving who perceives and then performs.
A tremendous tumult announces the approach of the sun.
Hearken, hark! The hours careering, sounding loud to spirit hearing, see the new-born day appearing. Rocky portals jarring shatter, Phoebus wheels in rolling clatter. With a crash the light draws near, pealing rays and trumpet blazes. Eye is blinded, ear amazes, the unheard can no one hear. Slip within each blossom bell, deeper, deeper there to dwell. In the rocks, beneath the leaf, if it strikes you, you are deaf.
Faust.
Life's pulses now with fresher force awaken, to greet the mild ethereal twilight o'er me. This night, thou earth, hast also stood unshaken, and now thou breathest new refreshed before me. And now beginnest, all thy gladness granting, a vigorous resolution to restore me, to seek that highest life which I am panting. The world unfolded lies in twilight glimmer, 1,000 voices in the grove are chanting, Veil in, veil out, the misty streaks grow dimmer. The deeps with heavenly light are penetrated. The boughs refreshed lift up their leafy shimmer from gulfs of air where sleepily they waited. Colour on colour from the background cleareth, where flower and leaf with trembling pearls are freighted. And all around a paradise appeareth. Look up! The mountain summits, grand, supernal, herald e'en now the solemn hour that neareth. They earliest enjoy the light eternal that later sinks, till here below we find it. Now to the alpine meadows, sloping, vernal, a newer beam descends ere we divined it, and step by step unto the base hath bounded. The sun comes forth. Alas, already blinded, I turn away, with eyesight pierced and wounded. 'Tis thus, when, unto yearning hope's endeavour, its highest wish on sweet attainment grounded, the portals of fulfilment widely sever. But if there burst from those eternal spaces a flood of flame, we stand confounded ever. For life's pure torch we sought the shining traces, and seas of fire, and what a fire, surprise us. Is't love, is't hate, that burningly embraces, and that with pain and joy alternate tries us? So that, our glances once more earthward throwing, we seek in youthful drapery to disguise us. Behind me, therefore, let the sun be glowing, the cataract between the crags deep riven. I thus behold with rapture ever growing, from plunge to plunge in thousand streams 'tis given, and yet 1,000 to the valleys shaded, while foam and spray in air are whirled and driven. Yet how superb, across the tumult braided, the painted rainbow's changeful life is bending, now clearly drawn, dissolving now and faded, and evermore the showers of dew descending. Of human striving there's no symbol fuller. Consider, and 'tis easy comprehending. Life is not light, but the refracted colour.
End of Act 1, Scene 1. Act 1, Scene 2 of Faust Part 2 by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Translated by Bayard Taylor. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 1, Scene 2. The Emperor's Castle. Hall of the Throne. Council of State awaiting the Emperor. Trumpets. Enter court retainers of all kinds, splendidly dressed. The Emperor advances to the throne, the astrologer on his right hand.
I greet you, well-beloved and trusty, assembled here from far and wide. I see the wise man at my side, but where's the fool, his rival lusty?
Squire.
Behind thy mantle's flowing swell, suddenly on the stairs he fell. They bore away the weight of fat, if dead or drunk, none knoweth that.
Second Squire.
As quick as thought, through all the pother, him to replace there came another, adorned and prinked with wondrous art, yet so grotesque that all men start. The guards their halberds crosswise hold to bar him, them he thrusts apart. Lo! here he comes, the fool so bold.
Mephistopheles, kneeling before the throne.
What's cursed and warmly expected? What is desired yet always chaste? What evermore with care protected? What is accursed, condemned, disgraced? To whom darest thou not give a hearing? Whose name hears each man willingly? What is't, before thy throne appearing, what keeps itself away from thee?
Spare us thy words. The time is pressing. This is no place for riddle guessing. These gentlemen such things explain. Solve it thyself. To hear I'm fain. My old fool went, I fear, an endless distance. Take thou his place. Come here and lend assistance.
Mephistopheles goes up and stations himself on the Emperor's left hand.
Murmurs of the crowd.
Another fool.
For worries new.
Whence came he?
How did he get through?
The old one fell.
he's walked his path.
He was a barrel.
This a laugh.
So now, my well-beloved and loyal, be welcome all from near and far. You meet beneath a fortunate star. Welfare and luck are now the aspects royal. But tell me why, in days so fair, when we've withdrawn ourselves from care, and beards of beauty masquerading wear, when gay delights for us are waiting, why should we plague ourselves deliberating? Yet since the task you think we cannot shun, 'tis settled then, so be it done.
Chancellor.
The highest virtue, like a halo zone, circles the emperor's head, and he alone is worthy validly to exercise it. 'Tis justice. All men love and prize it. None can forego, but all require and want it. The people look to him that he should grant it. But what help can human wit impart, or readiness of hand, or kindly heart, when lies the state as if in fever fretting, and brooded evil is begetting? Who looks abroad from off this height supreme? Throughout the realm 'tis like a wearied dream, where one deformity another mouldeth, where lawlessness itself by law upholdeth, and 'tis an age of error that unfoldeth. One plunders flocks, a woman one, cup, cross, and candlestick from altar, and then to boast it does not palter, of limb or life no wise undone. To court, behold the plaintiff's urging, where puffs the judge on cushions warm, and swells meanwhile with fury surging rebellion's fast increasing storm. His easy way through crime is broken, who his accomplices selects, and guilty hears one only spoken, where innocence itself protects. They all pull down what they should care for, destroy their weal in self-despite. How can the sense develop, therefore, which only leads us to the right? At last the man of good intent to flatterer and briber bendeth. The judge, debarred from punishment, mates with the felon ere he endeth. I've painted black, but denser screen I'd rather draw before the scene.
Pause.
Here measures cannot be evaded. When all offend, and none are aided, His Majesty a victim stands.
General-in-Chief.
In these wild days how discords thicken! Each strikes, and in return is stricken, and they are deaf to all commands. The burgher in his fortifications, the knight upon his rocky nest, have sworn to worry out our patience, and keep their strength with stubborn crest. The mercenaries, no whit better, impatiently demand their pay, and if we were not still their debtor, they'd start forthwith and march away. Let one forbid what all would practice, and in a hornet's nest he stands. The realm which they should guard, the fact is, 'tis devastated by their hands. They give the rein to wild disorder, and half the world is wasted now. There still are kings beyond our border, but none thinks it concerns him anyhow.
Treasurer.
Trust allies, and we soon shall rue us. The subsidies they promised to us, like water in leaky pipes, don't come. Then, sire, in all thy states extended, to whom hath now the rule descended? Where'er one goes, a new lord is at home, and hopes to live in independence. He takes his course, and we look on. Such rights we've given to our attendants, that all our right to anything is gone. On parties, too, whatever the name be, our trust to-day is far from great. Though loud their praise, or fierce their blame be, indifferent is their love and hate. The Ghibellines and Guelphs from labour are resting, both laid on the shelf. Who therefore now will help his neighbour? Each has enough to help himself. The gate of gold no more unlatches, and each one gathers, digs and scratches, while our strong box is void indeed.
Lord High Steward.
What evil I as well am having, we're always trying to be saving, and ever greater is our need. Thus daily grows this task of mine. The cooks have all they want at present, wild boar and deer and hare and pheasant, duck, peacock, turkey, goose, and chicken. These, paid in kind, are certain picking, and do not seriously decline. Yet after all we're short of wine, where casks on casks were once our cellars filling, rare vintages of flavours finely thrilling. The noble lord's eternal swilling has drained them off, till not a drop appears. The city council too must tap their liquor. They drink from mug and jug and beaker, till no one longer sees or hears. 'Tis I must pay for all the dances. The Jew will have me, past all chances. His notes of hand and his advances will soon eat up the coming years. Before their fat the swine are taken, pawned is the pillow ere one waken. The bread is eaten ere the board it sees.
Emperor, after some reflection, to Mephistopheles.
Say, fool, canst thou not add a want to these?
I? Not at all. I see the circling splendour, thyself and thine. Should one his trust surrender, where majesty thus unopposed commands? Where ready power the hostile force disbands? Where loyal wills through understanding strong, and mixed activities around thee throng? What powers for evil could one see combining, for darkness where such brilliant stars are shining?
Murmurs.
He is a scamp.
Who comprehends.
He lies his way until it ends.
I know it now.
What's in his mind?
What then? A project lurks behind.
Where in this world doth not some lack appear? Here this, there that. But money's lacking here. True, from the floor you can't at once collect it, but deepliest hidden, wisdom may detect it. In veins of mountains, under building bases, coined and uncoined, there's gold in many places. And ask you who shall bring it to the light? A man endowed with mind's and nature's might.
Nature and mind, to Christians we don't speak so. Thence to bum atheists we seek so. For such discourses very dangerous be. Nature is sin, and mind is devil. Doubt they beget in shameless revel. They're hybrid in deformity. Not so with us. Two only races have in the empire kept their places, and prop the throne with worthy weight. The saints and knights are they, together they breast each spell of thunder weather, and take for pay the church and state. The vulgar minds that breed confusion are met with an opposing hand. They're wizards, heretics, delusion through them will ruin town and land. And these will you, with brazen juggle, within this high assembly smuggle. For hearts corrupt you scheme and struggle. The fools near kin are all the band.
By that I know the learned lord you are. What you don't touch is lying leagues afar. What you don't grasp is wholly lost to you. What you don't reckon, think you, can't be true. What you don't weigh, it has no weight, alas. What you don't coin, you're sure it will not pass.
Therewith to help our needs you not determine. What wilt thou hear with such a Lenten sermon? I'm tired of the eternal if and how. Money we want. Good, then procure it now.
I'll furnish what you wish, and more. 'Tis true, a light task, But light things are hard to do. The gold's on hand, yet skilfully to win it, that is the art. Who knows how to begin it? Consider only, in those days of blood, when o'er the empire poured a human flood, how many men, such deadly terror steeled them, took their best goods and there concealed them. 'Twas so beneath the mighty Roman sway, and so ever repeated till our day. All that was buried in the earth to save it, the emperor owns the earth, and he should have it.
Now, for a fool, his words are rather bright. That is indeed the old imperial right.
Satan has laid his golden snares to try us. Such things as these are neither right nor pious.
Let him but bring his gifts to court and share them, and if things were a little wrong, I'd bear them.
The fool is shrewd to promise each his needs. Whence it may come, the soldier never heeds.
And should you think, perchance, I overreach you? Here's the astrologer, ask him to teach you. The spheres of hour and house are in his ken. What are the heavenly aspects? Tell us then.
2 rogues are they.
In league they've grown, dreamer and fool.
So near the throne. The song is old,
And flatly sung. The fool he prompts.
The wise man's tongue.
Astrologer speaks. Mephistopheles prompts.
The sun himself is gold of purest ray. The herald, Mercury. Sir, for love and pay. Dame Venus has bewitched you all, for she, early and late, looks on you lovingly. Chaste Luna has her whims, no two alike. Mars threatens you, although he may not strike, and Jupiter is still the splendid star. Saturn is great, though seeming small and far. As metal, him we don't much venerate, of value slight, though heavy in his weight. Now, when of Sol and Luna unions had, silver with gold, then this is the world made glad. All else, with them, is easy to attain. Palaces, gardens, cheeks of rosy stain. And these procures this highly learned man, who that can do which none of us ever can.
2 meanings in his words I find, and yet they don't convince my mind.
Why tell us that?
stuff stale and flat.
'Tis quackery.
'Tis chemistry.
I've heard the strain, and hoped in vain.
And though it come,
'Tis all a hum.
They stand around, amazed, unknowing. They do not trust the treasure spell. One dreams of mandrake nightly growing, the other of the dog of hell. Why then should one suspect bewitching, and why the other jest and prate? When in their feet they too shall feel the itching, when they shall walk with tottering gait. All feel a secret operation of nature's ever-ruling might, and from the bases of creation a living track winds up to light. In every limb when something twitches, in any place uncanny, old, decide at once and dig for riches. There lies a fiddler, there the gold.
It hangs like lead my feet about.
I've cramp i' the arm, but that is gout.
I have tickling in the greater toe. Down all my back it pains me so.
From signs like these 'tis very clear, the richest treasure ground is here.
Haste then, they'll not again make off. Test now thy frothy lying graces, and show at once the golden places. My sword and sceptre I will doff, mine own imperial hands I'll lend thee. If thou liest not, therein befriend thee, but if thou liest, to hell will send thee.
I'd find in any case the pathway there, yet I cannot enough declare what, ownerless, awaits everywhere. The farmer, following his share, turns out a gold crock with the mould. He seeks saltpetre where the clay walls stand, and findest rolls of goldenest gold, with joyful fright, in his impoverished hand. What vaults there are to be exploded, along what shafts and mines corroded the gold diviner's steps are goaded, until the underworld is night. In cellars vast he sees the precious cups, beakers, vases, plates, and dishes, row after row resplendent lie. Rich goblets cut from rubies stand there, and would he use them, lo, at hand there is ancient juice of strength divine. Yet trust to him whose knowledge's gotten, the wood o' the staves has long been rotten. A cask of tartar holds the wine. Not only gold and gems are hiding, but a proud wine's the heart abiding. In terror and in night profound, herein assiduously explore the wise. It is a farce, by day to recognize, but mysteries are with darkness circled round.
See thou to them, what prophecy obscure? Whatever has value comes to daylight, sure. At dead of night, who can the rogue betray? Then all the cows are black, the cats are grey. If pots are down there, full of heavy gold, drive on thy plough and turn them from the mould.
Take hoe and spade thyself, I pray thee, thou shalt be great through peasant toil. A herd of golden calves to pay thee will loose their bodies from the soil, and then at once canst thou, with rapture, gems for thyself and for thy mistress capture. Their tints and sparkles heighten the degree of beauty as of majesty.
Then quick, at once, how long will it require?
Astrologer, prompted by Mephistopheles.
Sir, moderate such urgence of desire. Let first the gay, the motley pastime end. Not to the goal doth such distraction tend. First self-command must quiet and assure us. The upper things the lower will procure us. Who seeks for good, must first be good. Who seeks for joy, must moderate his blood. Who wine desires, let him the ripe grapes tread. Who miracles, by stronger faith be led.
Let us the time in merriment efface, and to our wish Ash Wednesday comes apace. Meanwhile we'll surely celebrate withal more jovially the maddening carnival.
Trumpets. Exeunt.
How closely linked are luck and merit, doth never to these fools occur. Had they the philosopher's stone, I swear it, the stone would lack the philosopher.
End of Act 1, Scene 2.